his career playoff record against Chicago. He is 2-3 in the playoffs. The two big lines for these clubs, Maruk's line and Troy Murray's line, we're underway. Hartsburg and Harold Snepsts on defense for the North Stars as they lob it into the corner. Bannerman bats it away. Now Willie Plett, checked by Troy Murray. McKegney knocked it free and Plett shoots it around. Maruk and Doug Wilson go after it. Maruk knocked it free, but Troy Murray took it away. Now here's Ed Olchuk. He's hit and roughed up by Snepsts as Plett shoots a high shot. Here's a fight going on as play is called. Olchuk and Snepsts.
Well,
and now Willie Plett gets in there.
It'll be interesting to see the calls on that first fight.
Willie Plett with a solid left hand right to the head of Olchuk, and now Plett and Fraser go at it.
Referee Gregson will have quite a time sorting this out. It appeared as if Olchuk was just going to keep his gloves on and hope that Snepsts got all the penalties, but he's got another main event going right here with Fraser and Willie Plett.
Well, early in the game here, I wonder if we're going to see a third man-in penalty.
That could very well be. This depends on how closely the officials were watching that altercation.
I think the general feeling is that the North Stars had to come out in just that style. Very physical, fighting if necessary. While they sort out the penalties, we'll pause. This is the Norris Division Finals, live on Spectrum Sports.
North Stars big men in the penalty box. We wait the call here.
A major for fighting. On the North Stars, number 24, Willie Plett, a major for fighting. On the North Stars, number 28, Harold Snepsts, a minor for roughing. Time of the penalties, 28 seconds.
Well, there's the first collision.
Snepsts pinches in deep in the zone, and he just starts mauling Olchuk. Olchuk doesn't retaliate. He's hoping that the aggressor penalty will be called. Apparently it hasn't been called. Then we see the other battle start. It's in the corner, and that was the best fight of them all.
Well, it looked like he took a punch up around the nose there, as you see a blood-stained towel. Plett and Fraser 5 each for fighting. Snepsts a minor for roughing. 28 seconds the time of those penalties. The Blackhawks go to the first power play of the game.
North Stars may have come out of that one pretty well. It could have been called a little harsher against them.
Well, I think Plett easily could have gotten a third man in, which would have put him out for, what, a 10-minute misconduct? Or perhaps the game, depending on the referee's judgment. Now there's Broughton taking it away from Doug Wilson, but then he was pinned up against the board. Savard poked it free and then comes away with the puck. Chicago power play. We're early in period number 1. There is no score. Now the lead to Al Secord. He's checked by Dave Richter rather solidly as Secord shoots it in. Then Roberts hitting Larmer hard. Roberts knocked the puck free, but Secord plays it to the point. Here's Bob Murray waiting across to Doug Wilson. Now into Dennis Savard. Watched by Dirk Graham, number 21. Savard centering for Secord. A loose puck to Larmer, a shot and a goal.
Well, specialty teams have been so important. Chicago has an excellent power play. Those people right there are very gifted offensively, and they take advantage right off the bat.
Well, the North Star penalty killing unit has been outstanding, killing off 90% of them, but Chicago scores here.
Chicago jams the slot up. Savard holding the puck. Secord just fans on his shot, and it goes over to Larmer, and he blasts it into the net. He doesn't miss from there. Chicago gets this first goal. Kind of a break for Chicago that puck went off of Secord's stick right to Larmer. Not much chance for Beaupre on that one.
Larmer's third goal of the playoffs. And, of course, that minor penalty to Snepsts is immediately rescinded. We're to 5 skaters aside as Lysiak shoots it in for Ken Yaremchuk. His shot was deflected by Belichick. Now in the corner, Giles lost it. Lysiak centers it. Yaremchuk is covered. He's knocked down by Giles. Then Cicerelli goes on top of him. Sutter puts it in front. Here's Ben Wilson centering it, and Giles has Sutter covered, and the North Stars break out 3-on-2, now 3-on-3. Graham hits the line, leaves it for Cicerelli, in past Yaremchuk, a shot and a great save by Bannerman.
Good quick shot by Cicerelli there, going right into the midsection of Bannerman. Broughton with a good head of steam coming up the ice, making the play.
That was a nice rush.
Graham dropping it back to Cicerelli. Broughton driving for the net, but being taken out by Ben Wilson, and Bannerman made it look pretty routine.
Secord and Savard get the assists on that Larmer goal at 1:11. And it's 1-0 Chicago.
Ciccarelli, a very accurate shooter. Normally, he'll have to pick the corners a little better than that to beat Bannerman.
Larmer, as we mentioned, getting his third playoff goal, but his first of this series. Now Wayne Bonney ready for this face-off. Acton and Savard are both ready also. Perhaps a little bit too much as they're both waved out. It'll be Payne and Larmer now. Throughout the playoffs, including the St. Louis series, they have been very tedious about dropping that puck. Roberts' shot skips wide. Secord plays it back. It bounces in front. Bannerman sweeps it away. DuPont hit by Payne. Now Larmer backhands it back to center ice. Ron Wilson for the North Stars. Shooting it away over to Gordy Roberts. He'll throw it in. Secord first man of the puck. Chased by Bellows, but Bellows ran into DuPont. The Hawks clear it to the line, but not out. Then finally it's deflected out by Larmer. And Ron Wilson cleared it away to Payne. Payne, Acton, and Bellows. Here's Bellows trying to tip it in. It's deflected, brought in by Payne. He shoots, he shot it wide. And Secord and Acton go after it. Secord shooting it around. Bellows hustles for the puck. Bellows is bumped there by DuPont, and he shoves him back. Acton through a check. There's going to be a penalty on Acton. And now one of the other North Star players gets involved. I think that was Bellows. Roberts coming in. Ron Wilson coming in.
Hard to figure how he gave Acton a penalty on that initial check. Acton just cruised in, threw his body into DuPont.
May have gotten an elbow up a little bit, but I think Terry Gregson here is making a statement that he's going to call this one rather closely tonight.
Steve Payne and DuPont jostling a little bit there. Appears as if the officials have them separated. Quite a difference in size there between Scampanello and Steve Payne.
Well, they head him off. We'll take a break. With the score, Chicago 1, the North Stars nothing. You're watching Spectrum Sports. And it appears that Bob Murray, Jack O'Callaghan, or DuPont are the latest two Chicago players to go in.
The original penalty was on Acton, I believe. He charged into the player DuPont along the boards. Hartsburg discussing the issue with Gregson here. North Stars could come out of this shorthanded again. It appears they will.
Well, now they won't. They won't. Be 2 minors to each team. Murray and DuPont, Acton and Payne. Bob Murray stands in disbelief. Chicago coach Bob Pulford. Boy, has he really earned the respect of his players since taking over for Orville Tessier back in February.
Well, intensity is written all over that man, Bob Pulford. Here we see DuPont going in and a battle along the boards. Acton lunges in there. The official's arm goes up. And it's hard to tell where the other penalties came from, but there was a little scuffle between Payne and DuPont after. There's Neil Broughton. They'd like to get something going here. It'll be 3-on-3, and Broughton can use that great skating ability out there with all that open ice.
Terry Gregson, the referee tonight, finally skates away from the scorer's table. These penalties come at 2:29. And Sonmore keeps up that positive chatter.
North Stars have Giles and Balasek back on defense, both two mobile defensemen.
Well, after when we get a break, we'll give you the particulars on the penalties, but suffice it to say for now, we're at 3 skaters aside as Savard and Broughton are the 2 forwards. Here's Kurt Giles. Giles to the Chicago line. Looked for the pass to Broughton, but it was tipped neatly by O'Callaghan. It comes back to Giles at center. And he retreats as Savard does a little checking. Now Velishek onside to Broughton. Bearing down on Wilson, fakes the shot, tries to cut in, and is poked away by Bannerman. O'Callaghan is hit by Velishek. Savard got a stick on it. It's still loose. Broughton picks it up. He's checked by Doug Wilson. Hangs onto it nicely. Broughton leaves it now for Kurt Giles. Giles trying to get in past Savard. Goes behind the net. Velishek goes off on a change. Gordy Roberts comes on, and the Blackhawks get the puck. Lead pass to Savard at center. Roberts is back. Here comes Savard's backhand. It skips wide. Beaupre may have gotten a piece of it. Now Chicago also changing. Bellows fresh off the bench, hits the line, tries to get around Brown. He's tied up. He's centered it. Hartsburg. And Hartsburg was checked by Ludzik. Now Gordy Roberts to Hartsburg again. A lot of traffic in front. Brown and Bellows. Hartsburg shooting. Deflected by Bellows into the corner. Roberts checked there by Ben Wilson. Now Bellows has it. Back to Gordy Roberts. North Stars with this 3-on-3 situation, pressing for the tying goal.
Bellows lost his helmet over there in the corner. Both teams playing man-on-man.
A half-minute left on those 4 minor penalties. We have just passed the 4-minute mark of the first period. Now O'Callahan slides it in. It's taken away by Roberts. Roberts now to Craig Hartsburg. Jenice Marouk joins the line. Hartsburg got past Troy Murray. A slap shot and a save by Bannerman. He lost the rebound, but it deflected wide.
Bannerman looked behind him on that play.
Here's Troy Murray with a long shot. Oh, that was wide by a couple of inches. Troy Murray plays it back into the corner as Hartsburg has it. And now those 4 penalties are over. We're 5 skaters aside. In a 1-0 hockey game, the Blackhawks lead. Payne shoots. Shot it wide. Keith Brown bumped by Marouk. A broken Chicago stick. Now a hard check thrown by the North Star player Gord Shervin on his first shift. Blackhawks get control. Shervin throws another check. Gardner pokes at it. Marouk got it to Giles. A wrist shot. Sailed wide. Belichick. Nice play. Centers to McKegney for the shot. He was checked and Bannerman still had to make the save. Great pressure by the North Stars as Marouk throws a check into Ludzik. McKegney piles up with Doug Wilson. Play is called.
About 10 big body checks thrown in that last minute of play. North Stars really taking it to Chicago physically.
And yet another in a series of pile-ups along the boards. Well, things seem to have settled down. Meanwhile, you're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs on Spectrum Sports.
The bench, he's got to be pleased with that last shift out there. Dennis Marouk and Shervin in particular really putting some pressure on. Bo Berglund out on left wing on this line. That's his first shift tonight.
Well, the shots, I think, Fred, indicate a pretty sizable margin of play in favor of the North Stars, 5-1.
Having some trouble getting that puck dropped as the wingers are getting into the circle.
From the face-off, Troy Murray plays it to the corner. Then goes back for the loose puck. Watched by Shervin. He's checked. And Bo Berglund, number 17 in his first shift, plays it back out at center. Now here's Giles ahead to Shervin. Loose puck to Ludzik. He's spun around by Giles. Shervin has it behind the net. Belichick is deflected to Berglund at center. He tried to get it to Acton, but that misfired. We'll see Berglund and Shervin in spot duty here with various North Star centers as they are the 2 extra forwards. The North Stars have dressed 7 defensemen tonight, has been their custom the last few weeks. And a frozen puck, finally whistle is blown.
Now we see Gord Shervin standing over Ludzik. He's thrown at least 5 good checks out there, and he's only been out for 2 shifts. Ludzik goes off for a change. This Chicago team expected the North Stars to come at them, and they certainly have.
Now 5 minutes and 40 seconds have been played, and there's been plenty of action.
Berglund, he's completed his first shift. He's glad to get back into the lineup after not playing in the playoffs for some time.
Well, you got to believe that these are 2 guys that are hungry, and they're going to give it their all tonight. In effect, they really don't know if they're going to be playing again in the next game Sunday night. So they're going to try to prove their point.
Well, they want to stay in the lineup, that's for sure.
Now this line has Graham on the left and Cicerelli on the right. Neil Broughton at center, the usual combination. Broughton to face off against Yaremchuk as the Blackhawks juggle a little bit. Lysiak not taking this face off. And right from the draw, Yaremchuk pushes the puck out of play.
Trainer Doc Rose just about got picked off at the end of the North Star bench. Tom Lysiak back in there at center. What a great game he had that last game.
Draw to Darryl Sutter. Checked by Broughton. Finally flipped it past Richter into the North Star end. And Dave Richter will set it up from behind the net.
Well, the line matching goes on. Chicago brought on Savard. Here's Acton.
Acton speeding in, drops it to Bellows. A quick shot, stick saved by Bannerman. Rebound to Larmer. Larmer throwing it ahead. Savard was knocked down as he came to center ice. No penalty. Now Acton checked at the Chicago line by O'Callahan, and it creates an offside. And again, the battle of words begins.
You see Doug Wilson out there on the ice an awful lot tonight. He's a real solid performer for Chicago. He does it all. Good chance here by the North Stars as they come in. Hard shot off the wing, but Bannerman plays his angles well and makes kind of a routine save. He's very comfortable in that goal.
Bellows, the regular season scoring leader in the season series for the North Stars. The Blackhawks again make a last-second change. Savard is on against Keith Acton once again. Berglund playing the left wing on this line. It's a spot normally occupied by Payne, so we'll see what Sonmor does in future lines. Now from center ice, Gordie Roberts shooting it around. Bannerman stops it for Doug Wilson. Berglund collides with one of the Chicago players, O'Callahan. Both went down. Savard stays onside with a nice play. Larmer a shot. That's deflected by Roberts. It goes to the corner. Secord goes in after the loose puck. Centering it, and it's deflected by Bellows. Grabbed by Richter. Nice lead to Berglund. Hits the line. Lets it go, and it's kicked out by Bannerman. A bouncing puck to Secord. He cleared and got it back to center ice. Now Richter's pass is deflected by Lysiak. Finally, Bellows goes after it. Shoots it across for Gordie Roberts. Coming up on the 7-minute mark of period one, the Blackhawks have the only goal of the game. That on a power play. It bounces around at the Chicago line to Brown. And he shoots it ahead to Savard. Now in over the line, Graham knocks it free. Ben Wilson playing it back. Here's Brown again. Looking for Yaremchuk, but it's batted away by Sneps. Here's Dirk Graham. Long shot, a pad save by Bannerman. That was a dandy, and the shot was ticketed for the corner. Sneps a slap shot, save again, a huge rebound, and finally it's controlled by Sutter. Sutter couldn't get it past Ciccarelli. Lysiak drops it back for Ben Wilson. He was checked, hangs onto the puck, then shoots it in.
I'll tell you, Dirk Graham really got all of that shot. It just about beat Bannerman from long range.
Centering pass taken away by Neil Broughton. Out to Ciccarelli at center, 2-on-2 with Graham. They crisscross. Dino shoots a bullet. It skipped wide. Nearly kicked up some snow at the base of the net. Now Yaremchuk. Hacked at by Sneps. Yaremchuk centers it for Murray. This is Bob Murray, number 6, shooting it around. And Ciccarelli has it. Sidesteps Yaremchuk, and he drew the penalty beautifully. A classic example of how to draw a penalty. You're watching the Norris Division Finals on Spectrum Sports.
Well, Yaremchuk in the box for a hooking. Ciccarelli doing a great job of forcing that penalty, and you saw Bob Pulford's reaction as we left. He not too pleased with the call by Gregson.
The penalty comes at the 8-minute mark. It's for hooking, and as I look at the shot clock, the Blackhawks are being outshot badly. The North Stars have 8 shots on goal. Chicago just 1, but that one went in the net. Hartsburg shoots it to the corner. Now Willie Plett has it. Tried to leave it for Marouk, but lost it to Gardner. Then it's cleared out by Doug Wilson.
In all fairness to Chicago, a number of those North Star shots have been from long range.
North Stars, meanwhile, have done quite well on the power play, as you see, 5 for 17. Here's McKegney. He's stopped by Bob Murray. Now played it behind the nets. Willie Plett knocked it down. Doug Wilson kicked it away. McKegney has it. Back to the blue line. Hartsburg fires it to Ron Wilson. The shot broken up early by Gardner and knocked to center ice. Now Wilson to Hartsburg again. Hits the line with Marouk and Plett. He left it for McKegney. Now to Ron Wilson. He's wide open. He shoots a goal!
Well, Willie Plett did a great job in that goal crease, totally screening Bannerman. Hard to say whether that shot got deflected or whether it went in directly from Wilson. I believe Willie Plett did touch the puck. North Stars set it up well. Hard shot comes in, and you see Willie Plett right in front of Bannerman, and the puck definitely changed direction.
What a screen by big Willie Plett.
That's
Boy,
what he's so effective at.
How do you see around that mountain?
It's very difficult to move him out of there because the defenseman then gets tied up and it leaves someone else open. just what the North Stars needed, to tie this game up before too much time went by.
Lett gets his 4th of the playoffs, and that is a team-high 4th. Tony McKegney also has 4 goals and a 1-1 game. Both goals on the power play, very similar to Tuesday night. Here's Gordy Roberts. Played it to McKegney. He's checked by Troy Murray. A bouncing puck to Roberts again. Shot it to the Hawk line. It's brought in by Marouk, but taken away by Ben Wilson, and then Ben Wilson was hit by Marouk. Richter to center ice. Marouk couldn't touch it. It would have been offside. Instead, it's going to be icing. So I'm not sure which is the worse evil.
It's a little difficult to hear the whistles here tonight. The crowd is very noisy, and sometimes that can cause some confusion.
Well, I stand corrected. They're going to give the goal to Ron Wilson, his first.
There we get a look at that shot again, and it certainly appeared that the puck changed direction. It may have hit Vanderman and gone in. Apparently it did, as Wilson gets the goal.
Wilson's first from Hartsburg and McKegney at 8:53. Ron Wilson now has his first playoff goal as Troy Murray shooting it into the corner. Marouk goes after it. Robertson Olczyk. Here, Troy Murray, a shadowy fan on it. And a big break for the North Stars. Here's Marouk. Hits the line, then had the puck checked off his stick at the last second, but the Blackhawks have a 2-on-1. Troy Murray and Olczyk. Troy Murray gets in. A shot is saved by Beaupre. And the rebound cleared by Marouk. Roberts goes after it and then fires it ahead to Willie Plett. Plett cranks from center, and a glove save by Bannerman. It would have been off target anyway. Halfway point of the first period. We're tied at 1. Kurt Fraser knocks it down, carries it in. It's checked there by Velishek, then knocked down to the ice by Giles. Acton has the puck and circles to center, but there are penalties behind the play.
Fraser and Giles will both go for slashing. They exchanged blows after that solid check along the boards. Kurt Giles taking out Fraser.
For our local systems, we'll pause. You're watching the Minnesota North Stars on Spectrum Sports.
Well, there's Kurt Giles in the box. He's trying to throw as many checks as he can out there. It's difficult for a defenseman to charge around and try and get too aggressive. You can get caught out of position, but he throws a solid check on Fraser right here. Fraser a little upset that he may have been going after his knee, and you see this exchange of sticks there.
So we're to 4 skaters aside with these slashing penalties at 10:04.
Now once again we see the expression on Fulford's face. He's not real happy with the way things have gone here from an officiating standpoint. North Stars have Schneps and Hartsburg out there on the point. Doug Wilson's hardly left the ice here tonight.
Giles and Fraser both go for slashing at 10:04. 1-1 game. And right now we're 4 skaters aside. Lysiak and Yaremchuk, the 2 Chicago forwards. Broughton and Cicerelli up front for the North Stars. Now Harold Schneps. Checked by Lysiak, goes back with the puck. Over to Hartsburg. And now to Neil Broughton. Broughton to center ice. Hits the Chicago line. Tried to break through. Cicerelli has it, then it knocked off at the last second. He's hit by Doug Wilson, and Larmer's pass went behind Lysiak. Hartsburg circles at center, waits for the zone to clear. Slides it in, but he was bumped, and O'Callahan easily picks that one off. Now Jack O'Callahan, after the bouncing puck, he's turned aside by Broughton. Cicerelli has the loose puck. Broughton is hooked. No penalty. Boy, there was a clear case of interference, but Gregson let it go. Now Savard fakes the shot. Now he shoots. He scores.
What a play by Savard. He faked that shot, and just as Beaupre let up, he cranked it. Pulled Beaupre to the far side. What a great player that Savard is. He's got so many deceptive moves. Quite a bag of tricks. Everyone in the rink expected the shot, and just as Beaupre's weight shifted, he cranked it, and Beaupre was unable to move back toward the post.
What a nice hitch.
See Roberts backing off to let Beaupre see the puck, and Savard continued another stride and really unleashed a wicked shot, caught the far side of the net.
His 4th goal of the playoffs, all against Minnesota. He didn't get a goal against Detroit.
It's hard to believe they scored an awful pile of goals against Detroit.
I have to stand corrected. That's his first playoff goal against the North Stars. He had the a long shot and a goal by Belichick.
I believe that puck may have deflected in off a defenseman, but Randy Belichick evens things up, and that brings the fans to their feet in a big hurry. Belichick not normally rushing the puck too much, but he saw an opening and he took off up the ice. Got good wood on his shot here just as he crosses the blue line. Puck appeared to drop a little bit. Beat Bannerman.
14 seconds apart, where that rising shot looked like it was going to go high until it hit Bannerman.
It's really difficult for a goaltender to make a save in close to his body like that, and it just kind of got underneath Bannerman's arm.
The Savard goal, I'll give you the assist on that. It went to Doug Wilson at 10:58. That was the lone assist. And now the Blackhawks control. Here's Ben Wilson for Chicago. To Keith Brown, he flips it in. We're still 4 skaters aside. Gardner put down by Belichick. George Shervin chased by Patterson. He hangs onto the puck. He's got great speed, and he creates a little opening there, but then the pass was too far for Berglund. Patterson has trouble with it. He's hit by Berglund. And Gardner throws it across for Brown. Patterson and Berglund battling at the Minnesota line. Play is called.
Al Berglund trying to interfere with Patterson, and Patterson got the glove off and threw a pretty good right hand, or left hand, at Berglund.
I guess his first period is everything we expected of it.
Bo Berglund not normally involved in too much rough play, but they banged along the boards and continued at the blue line. It'll be interesting to see the call here. Patterson definitely the only one to throw a punch. See, Berglund got popped on the nose pretty good there.
Now he heads up the North Star runway. There's Glenn Sonmore.
Both coaches quite incensed at some of the calls out here.
Terry Gregson, the referee tonight, I believe he had the first game of this series in Chicago, and I thought he called a quite even game as you look at this latest incident. Tonight he is terribly inconsistent.
Berglund trying to push the Chicago player over the blue line and force an offside, and Patterson was trying to get away. Patterson gets 4 minutes.
Well, a double minor against Patterson, and here it is.
There's that left hand coming right over the top of the linesman and catching Berglund right in the nose.
Here are the penalties.
On the Blackhawks, number 26, Rick Patterson, a minor for high sticking and a minor for roughing. On the North Stars, number 17, Bo Berglund, a minor for roughing. Time of the penalties, 11:48.
That's Dick Stanford. He's going to have a busy night before this one is all over.
Hey, Gregson warning Bob Murray to get out of there. He's had enough discussion. Wants to get the game underway. Things a little bit out of hand here at times. Bob Pulford looks on.
Wonder how long he's going to remain mild-mannered.
I don't think I can remember Bob Pulford getting too upset.
He was a little upset Tuesday night, but not by very much. 16 seconds remain on the penalties to Fraser and Giles.
Discussions on the North Star bench, looking up at the times left on the clock.
It won't be until another 2 minutes before the North Stars get a power play out of this, unless there's more penalties, which could definitely happen. Shervin is serving that penalty to Bo Berglund, while Bo goes to the dressing room for repairs.
Once again, we have a 3-on-3 situation. A lot of open ice.
Those last 2 goals, Savard from Doug Wilson at 10:58, Belichick from Roberts at 11:12. They were just 14 seconds apart. It's a 2-2 hockey game. Now Broughton goes after it. Craig Hartsburg back at the North Star line. Flips it across to Roberts. They shoot it back across. 3 skaters aside for another 5 seconds.
Broughton almost had a breakaway off that faceoff. He poked the puck ahead and took off, and Wilson just got to him in time.
Here's Broughton as Fraser and Giles come on. Broughton waits, got it back to Cicerelli, throws it across to Roberts, who has to hustle back for it. Broughton in the slot, avoids one check, now bothered by Wilson. Roberts shooting, that hits Cicerelli. Troy Murray is bumped, but hangs onto the puck. Minute 25 left in the penalty to Berglund. Then the North Stars would have a power play. Troy Murray in the slot, and it's poked away by Roberts. They collide. Troy Murray flips it in behind the net. Now a penalty coming up here on the North Star player Roberts for roughing.
Troy Murray and Gordy Roberts bumped along the boards as they went for that puck. Roberts felt he got caught with a bit of an elbow, so he retaliated, and Gregson just saw the shot that Roberts took in retaliation, and Roberts will get the call, so that'll take away that power play 2 minutes from now for the North Stars.
Roberts just looking for a logical explanation out of this one.
See them jostle there, and Roberts gives him a little shot after the fact right in the face, and the official was watching. Preliminary report coming from the North Star dressing room on Bo Berglund is that he has a broken nose. That sounds quite severe, but I think it's realized that player right there probably has a broken nose too, Troy Murray. It's a very common thing for a hockey player to break his nose.
This penalty coming at 12:36. And it gives Chicago their second power play right now. 4 skaters on 3.
Bob Murray, Doug Wilson, Savard, and Secord out there.
Blackhawks in the power play in this series have just 1 power play goal and 16 chances coming into tonight. They are 1 for 1 thus far tonight. Now from center ice, Doug Wilson shooting it in. It deflected and skipped not very far away from Don Beaupre. Secord shooting it around. Bob Murray waits. Cross to Doug Wilson. Now into the corner for Savard. In the slot for Wilson. It was tipped but kept on the line. Giles went after it. Savard back to Bob Murray. And to Savard again. That is Savard waiting. In a half minute, Shervin will be down the ice. The power play will end. Doug Wilson has it. Centering for Secord. He's robbed. And the loose puck in front is finally cleared away by Giles.
What a great job Kurt Giles did there to tie up Al Secord.
And Giles must have stopped him from getting that rebound shot off. Here's another stop by Beaupre. The North Stars clear.
Great penalty killing Randy Valashek and Kurt Giles on defense.
10 more seconds left on that penalty being served by Shervin. Brought in by Savard. Centers it in front. It's deflected. A return pass for Olchuk. A backhand and a goal.
Great play by the Chicago team. Olchuk with good poise, pulling the puck over to his backhand, and a very nice passing play to set up that goal. He's really come on late in the season for this Chicago team. Had a great playoff against Detroit. Here's the play, and once again it's Savard starting the play, controlling that puck. He dumps it off to Olchuk, and he just redirects it over to Bob Murray. Bob Murray throws it back to Olchuk, and you see Beaupre going the other way. Nice play.
It will go down as a power play goal. And the penalty that it will wipe out is the one to Gordy Roberts, the one that had the most time on it. So the North Stars, if there is a break to be had out of this situation, get a break there, because now in just 1 second, they'll go to the power play. The North Stars will.
Ed Olchuk, the fine young rookie for Chicago, coming up with a big goal. Great big assist going to Bob Murray there.
Now we're coming up on the 14-minute mark, as you see. 5 goals have been scored.
Chicago discussing their strategy. They've got a penalty to kill off here in a second.
Right now it's Maruk and Flett up front. Hartsburg and Ron Wilson back on defense. George Shervin will come out of the box right now and head right for the bench in favor of Tony McKegney. 5-skater on 4. The North Stars with a power play. And naturally they... Oh, here's a loose puck. They let it alone for Ludzik, and a stop made by Beaupre.
Oh, a failure in communication there. No whistle. The play goes on.
Here's Hartsburg. Played at the center ice for Maruk. They hit the line 3-on-2. It's onside. Now McKegney flying in a shot. Stopped by Bannerman. Boy, did he get rid of that one in a hurry.
Quick hands.
Maruk lost it. Pletz thrown down by Ben Wilson. And Ben Wilson lets loose with a couple of rights.
There's 2 fellas that know how to fight pretty well. They get a hold of one another so they can't throw too many punches. And and that's a good sign that they respect one another. You grab those punching hands and hold on to them. Try and get free yourself to throw a punch, but nothing too much develops there. They'll likely get fighting penalties. What a close call for the North Stars down at the far end. A very harmless-looking clearing shot by Chicago bounced off the boards and came right out in front. Here's Hartsburg coming back to get the puck. Beaupre didn't handle it, and it goes right to the Chicago player, Ludzik, and he was just foiled as the Beaupre or Hartsburg got across there to block it.
Looked to me like Beaupre's right leg.
Great chance here. Tony McKegney with such quick hands. He was breaking in off the wing and snaps that shot off very quickly, and Bannerman was just able to get body position and get that thing stopped. Players jostle in, and Willie Plett and Wilson end up in a fight. You see Wilson taking a whack at Marouk, and Plett right there to help him out. Not too many punches landed there as two big men hold on and wrestle each other to the ice.
Look at Steve Kane, who has not seen much ice time since that early penalty at 2:29.
Well, the North Stars are fortunate that Chicago didn't score a shorthanded goal there on that play in front of the North Star net. That would have been a tough thing to rebound from.
Ben Wilson gets slashing and fighting. Plett charging and fighting. And those penalties come at 14-12.
Mr. Gregson has decided that he's going to start calling everything now and try and keep this game under control.
3-2. The Blackhawks lead on goals by Larmer, Savard, and Olchuk. The North Star goals from Ron Wilson and Randy Valashek, two defensemen. McKegney waiting for the face-off along with Larmer, and as you might guess, just as they drop the puck, someone's in the circle a little bit too soon.
Well, Marouk has been stirring things up out there every shift, and he was guilty of getting in there with Doug Wilson behind the official's back.
They dig in again. The puck goes behind the Chicago net now. Wilson is tied up. Troy Murray throwing it out long range. It goes right into the Minnesota bench. We'll have another face-off. That last Chicago goal, Olchuk's fifth from Bob Murray and Savard. Savard now has 3 points tonight. 13:47 is the time.
Good look at J.P. Parisi on the North Star bench. Apparently getting hit with that puck a little bit. Just got to keep your eye on things when you're down there close to the ice.
From the draw, Marouk got it to Ron Wilson, who sidesteps the check, walks in, shoots, a save, a rebound, another save by Bannerman.
Bellows had a glorious scoring opportunity, and Bannerman reached back with the goal stick and kept the puck out. What a great play by Wilson to step around the Chicago player and move in. The rebound off of his shot came right to Brian Bellows. See Wilson stepping around Ludzik, I believe, and coming in. He gets a quick shot off right there, and the rebound goes to Bellows, and it looks like it's going in the net, and he just gets his stick down in time. Murray Bannerman comes up with a big save for Chicago.
Bannerman, I guess if he has a weak spot, it might be in the rebounds that he leaves laying around the goal crease.
Well, when players get opportunities to let point-blank shots like that go, it's tough for a goaltender to control rebounds. He came up with a big save right there. The North Stars came within a fraction of an inch of tying this game up again.
1:21 left on the Chicago penalty. That's to Rick Patterson. By the way, there have been a total of 48 minutes in penalties thus far. 24 for each team. We still have 5.5 minutes left in the first period. Hartsburg, a slap shot, never reached the net as it was broken up by Gardner way up high in the slot. So lots of time on the North Star power play. They trail by a goal. Wilson, Hartsburg, now to McKegney. From center ice, he flips it in. Marouk tied up a little bit by Olchuk. He's tripped by Olchuk, no penalty. And there is the glaring inconsistency. Hartsburg, a wrist shot. Saved by Bannerman, and he bats the rebound away. Gardner goes down with McKegney right there, and play is called.
Tony McKegney really hustling out there. He was all over Gardner as that puck went over to the boards. He realized realizes they can't wait too long.
Well, coming up in our intermission, Fred will have a chance to talk with Al Secord of the Blackhawks, and we'll have a special view from ice level. As you know, we pride ourselves quite a bit on the photography, the camera work that you get out of the Spectrum Sports crew. There's Phil Renaud down at ice level right now, and you'll see some of the work that he and Mike Dolan have turned in over the course of the season. Of course, they have heard quite a bit more than we have also heard up here.
For sure.
They get an earful down there. And, of course, you'll have a chance to win some tickets to either a future hockey or baseball game coming up at the intermission as well. Half-minute left in the Patterson penalty. Now it goes off the skate of Ciccarelli as he drives it in. Oh, Ron Wilson cleared it right out, nearly gave it away.
Right behind Bannerman as well. Bannerman, he put that puck behind Bannerman to shoot it down.
Now at center, Ciccarelli to Broughton. Turned aside by Bob Murray. Into the corner, Ciccarelli checked by Doug Wilson. 12 seconds in the power play. Gardner cleared but not out. Roberts, Giles, slap shot. Oh, the goal post. It got past Bannerman and hit at least one, maybe both goal posts.
I think it hit both goal posts. Bannerman got a piece of it and it went off the far post and then over and hit the one on this side.
Penalty to Patterson is over. 5 skaters aside with 4 minutes left in the first period. Graham, pass deflected by Lysiak. Sutter has it, centering it, taken away by Roberts, but he lost it. Yaremchuk behind the net. Centers it for Sutter, and he was checked. Lysiak has the puck. Back to Brown for a shot, sails wide. Yaremchuk digging after it. In front, here's Sutter knocked down from behind, and he's slashed by Ciccarelli. No penalty, and still got a shot off. Ciccarelli hauls it to center, then flips it in. Bannerman leaving it there for Brown. Both chances at both ends. Brown's pass went off the stick of Yaremchuk. They're going to wave off the icing as Beaupre plays it. Now Sneps has it. Got it to McKegney. To Brian Bellows at center. With Acton, they're 2-on-3. Acton shoots, a glove save by Bannerman. He holds on for the whistle.
Well, each team taking turns at good flurries. Shots 16-7 in favor of the North Stars at this point. They had at least 4 or 5 long shots early in the game, but they've had some great scoring chances. Chicago had a couple of pretty good ones that last flurry themselves. Kurt Giles walks in here and really cranks it, and it appears as if Bannerman got a piece of it and went off both posts and back out. So Bannerman's got those lucky goal posts working for him tonight.
Coming up on 3 minutes left to play. Acton and Savard dig in. Harold Sneps, bouncing puck, wrist shot, kicked out by Bannerman. Hartsburg can't get it away from Secord, who went down. And finally Sneps got it back to Hartsburg, who's challenged rather quickly by Secord. Hartsburg then flipped it to center for Bellows. Bellows' long shot deflects. It goes nearly straight up in the air and out of play.
Well, Chicago doing what they want to do there, having good back checking, the defense standing up and deflecting those shots out of play. Don't want to let the North Stars penetrate, get them on a whirlwind type thing going in their own zone. Kurt Giles really cranks this shot and appears like he's got Bannerman beat. Look at that, off of both posts and back out right behind the goaltender.
It's been one of those games where it's difficult to try to establish any patterns. It's been interrupted quite a few times by penalties and also by 5 goals. Doug Wilson goes after it with McKegney. Now Ed Olchuk clearing it away. It's kept in by Velishek. Takes a crazy bounce. Baruch went to shoot. Chicago player went down to block it. That was Olchuk. Velishek centering it, and it got away, and Olchuk cleared it to the line, and then it dribbles out. Fraser hits Maruk as the puck goes into Minnesota end, and the Blackhawks change on the fly.
Big defensive play by Olchuk there, just inside his own blue line.
McKegney throwing it in, knocked down by DuPont. And the loose puck finally cleared out by Savard. Secord at center, cranks up for a shot. That deflects behind the net. Secord goes right in after it. Al Secord at the blue line. Bob Murray, he one-timed it, and it went right out of play.
That puck rolling a lot out there, and Bob Murray's not happy that he didn't get a better shot like that, an opportunity like that. The puck started to roll just as he cranked up. There's the great coach for Chicago, Bob Fulford. What a great job he's done with this team. His assistant Cliff Corral behind, and Roger Nielsen, who He's upstairs on the headsets.
What's your bet, Fred? Will Pulford be back next year as coach?
Well, I think the owner of the team would like him to stay behind the bench, and that's the main reason. Bob Pulford himself, I think, would like to concentrate on his general manager duties, but you got to do what the boss tells you to do, and you can't argue with Mr. Wirtz. Pulford's done a fine job behind the bench.
Well, he's got two great assistants in Cliff Corral and Roger Nielsen, who you talked about from time to time. I think either one of them would make an excellent head coach.
Very definitely. They're very qualified.
Exactly 2 minutes left in the first period. And a 3-2 Chicago lead. Here's Hartsburg. Now to Payne. Stick handles at center, throws it ahead for Acton a bit too far. Acton picks it up anyway, walking right in. Bannerman a big save, and he holds on. Nice rush by Keith Acton as he is in the middle of that pileup now with Murray Bannerman. Bannerman appears to be all right, but naturally when he goes down like that, we keep an eye on him to see if he re-aggravates that injury. Now the lead pass to Acton looked like it was going to be too far, but he really hustled to get past DuPont and was nearly able to flip it in over the pads of the falling goaltender Bannerman. Hit just the very top of that left pad of Bannerman's. Acton with a nice reach and good quickness to get past DuPont. 1:46 left in period one. Bannerman has now faced 18 North Star shots in this period. North Stars have scored 2 goals. Blackhawks shooting percentage quite a bit better. They've scored 3 times on 7 shots. Now Savard and Acton ready to face off again. And the draw to no one yet. Steve Payne on the ice had Secord tied up. Now Bob Murray finally plays it ahead to Larmer across the Secord again. And he crosses center before shooting it in. Blackhawks make a change of defensemen. The North Stars have trouble with the puck behind their own net. O'Callahan just off the bench keeps the puck in. It hit Gordy Roberts' stick. Roberts plays it ahead with a glove hand, and we'll have a face-off to the left of Don Beaupre. There's a look at Terry Gregson. And what a busy man he has been. Last count, we had the 48 minutes in penalties for the two teams. Don Beaupre making his first start and has a remarkable record here at the Met Center. Against the Blackhawks in his career, he's only lost twice. That includes regular season and playoffs. So the Savard line is on the bench for a quick sit-down. Broughton's line for Minnesota against Tom Lysiak's line. Minute 22 to go. And the draw to the corner for Roberts. And on his first pass goes back for it. Lysiak kicking it along the board. Sutter comes back to help out. He's checked by Roberts, and Broughton has the puck. Neil Broughton to center. 3-on-4 as they bring it in, and Broughton is body slammed down to the ice by O'Callahan. No penalty there. Hawks 3-on-2. Lysiak shooting it. He shot it wide. There's under a minute to go in the period. Graham is checked by Yaremchuk. Yaremchuk tied up by Dirk Graham. He centers it anyway, and Roberts bats it away to Broughton. Broughton alone at center. With Roberts trailing, so is Graham. The drop to Roberts. A blast went high and wide. That may have hit O'Callahan on the right arm or wrist. He's really stunned. Back to center ice. Here's Yaremchuk. 35 seconds in the period. Now Giles in the corner. Trying to get it past Savard. He got it his head as far as Graham, and the Hawks intercept and flip it right back in. Now Giles to Velishek. Out to Graham at center, looking for Bellows breaking, but the pass hits Secord in the back, and it creates an offside. But Jack O'Callahan really took that hard shot of Gordy Roberts, either in the wrist or up on the arm a little bit, where he may not have had any protection, and made a beeline to the bench. Well, the fans have been upset from time to time tonight with the calls and lack of calls. Broughton coming in on O'Callahan, who breaks up Broughton's rush and then throws him down. I guess just a normal collision there in the course of trying to play the puck. Len Sonmore thinks otherwise of it, however, and lets Gregson know. I believe I heard Gregson say, okay, no more. Apparently, he thinks that's going to quiet him down. 16 seconds left in the period. And Marouk will face off against Troy Murray. Jerome DuPont for Chicago. Shooting it across to his partner, Bob Murray. Murray flips it to center. It hit Gregson. Loose to McKegney. In with Marouk. Dropped it to Sherman, but it was just at his skates. He couldn't handle it. 2 seconds left. One long shot at the horn. Went wide, and not by much. Boy, that was close. And the first period of hockey comes to an end. First period starting role work for Don Beaupre is over. And the Blackhawks really stormed the Minnesota net. Here's Sonmore again. Very basic statement from Sonmore. Wants to know what's going on, as he this time is going after one of the linesmen. Well, Keith Acton is not happy with the situation either. And he continues to voice his opinion. I think he's throwing those comments over at Wayne Bonney. All right, I guess that's over. And Dick Bramer, another high-scoring first period.
Young lady must have gotten tired making S's for that banner. Thank you for the banner. Chicago leading Minnesota 3-2 after the first 20 minutes. The guy for the Chicago Blackhawks has a lot of Minnesota fans confused. A lot of them think he has 3 syllables in his last name, but there are just 2. Al Secord is with Fred Barrett.
There's a lot of intensity out there, Al. A little bit of everything, almost to the point of all-out war. Is that what you expected?
Yeah, we sure did. We knew kind of a do-or-die situation. Minnesota wants to get that home game win, and they'd come out really strong. And we thought the first 10-15 minutes would be the key to the whole game, and we've stayed in the game so far, and we keep playing like we did last game, and even a step better, we'll stay in for the rest of the game.
Your goaltender, Murray Bannerman, has played exceptionally well again. He's had some good fortune with the goalpost as well.
Yes, they say that the goalie's best friend is the goalpost, and he's come up big for us in this series as well as Detroit, and he's playing really well, and the amount of shots he's taken, he's saved our neck so far.
Chicago's done an excellent job of building a hockey team with speed and finesse, but also they've got the capabilities to play a physical game.
Sure, I think Minnesota has improved their team that way also. I think in the first game we proved that either team can't be intimidated, so we're both sticking to hockey pretty well. There's still a lot of hits in the corners and, tough play in front of the nets, things like that, but nobody's looking to take any bad penalties.
Balance is also a word that is used an awful lot to describe the Chicago team right now. You're getting got a great deal of scoring in the Detroit series, really dominated that series. Not as overwhelming against Minnesota, but still you're getting scoring from a lot of different places.
Sure, well, our game is if we take care of our own end, have the guys coming back, playing it tight, that we can still score the goals at the other end, and it's worked out that way so far. But we know Minnesota is a tough team, and they've vastly improved, I think, in the last month and a half, and we can't take them lightly.
Well, we certainly agree with you there. You must have had some anxious moments, your line and the rest of the Chicago team, to see your great centerman Dennis Savard go down in that game on Tuesday, but he came back strong, and you two combined for 2 big goals there late in the second period.
Well, we thought Dennis was out for the rest of the game. We talked to Billy Gardner, told him to be ready. But he came out just before the parade started, and I guess gave us a little boost. He's a gutsy little kid, and he works hard and real competitor. And, woke him up, it looks like. He was skating out there. He drew a few guys to him, and Stevie and I just had to be at the right place at the right time.
We talk about a blend, and with the Chicago team when it comes to their personnel, that blend of youth and experience is also very apparent out there.
Yes, I think Pulley's done a great job. Things were kind of rocky the last season and a half. And he came in at the right time, He gave us a lot of confidence. He knew we'd be making a lot of mistakes, but he didn't get on anybody. He kept putting us out there, and that way the boys got the confidence, got the experience, and now we're playing, much more as a unit.
Both the young players and the older players have reacted well to Pulford. I think of Tom Lysiak and Ned Olchuk have really come on late in the season and in the playoffs.
Sure, well, Pulley doesn't say too much, but you know exactly what he wants, and because you like the guy, you go through the wall for him, and 20 guys feel the same way, so that's why we're getting success right now.
I know my former coach, Roger Nielsen, is very happy with the way the team is playing, and I know he has a lot of input on the specialty teams.
Well, that's true. I forgot to mention, but he is a big part of it. He analyzes the game so well, and he picks out the little things that are very important, and because we have the effort from the 20 guys, we pick up on those little things, and then it improves our game a lot.
Your bachelor days are
almost
coming to an end here.
Yeah. Well, we had originally planned a May 25th wedding, but they changed the schedule on us about a month ago, so I'm hoping we're in the finals. I can always get married after that.
Well, thanks for being our guest, Al.
Right, thanks.
We'll be back with more of Intermission in a moment. You're watching the Minnesota North Stars and the Chicago Blackhawks live on Spectrum Sports.
Stars need a win tonight, and they need a goal to even it up. Chicago has a lead, 3-2 after the first 20 minutes. You know, one of the things we try to do on Spectrum Sports is bring you closer to the action. I think you'll agree. You get to see a lot more and hear a lot more. Got a little feature now about what life is like on A View from the Bench.
If you could something out of our view, not sure exactly what.
Ed Olchuk showed a lot of poise on that goal he got, making a good pass and then a good play when he got the return pass from Bob Murray.
All right, period number 2. The North Stars find themselves in a bit of a hole, down 2-1. And also trailing in the score here, 3-2 as we start the second period. Doug Wilson shooting it around. Here's Fraser trying to get it out of the zone. It's kept in by Shervin with a shot. That caroms over the glass and out of play.
Apparently the North Stars coaching staff felt as we did about Gord Shervin. He's out there replacing Willie Plett on this line on right wing. He's a real threat with that great speed, and he's shown that he can play a physical game. Young player with a lot of potential.
Replacing Flett because Willie remains in the penalty box, still sitting off a total of 7 minutes in penalties. Call at 14-12 of the first period. Now Marook's line stays on, as does the Troy Murray line, but Marook is waved out. There's Willie. Still working on that nose with an ice cube. He may have a broken beak as well.
It wouldn't be the first time for Willie, I'm sure.
Now here's Harold Snepsts. 5 skaters aside right now. Pass got away from Shervin. Wilson lost it as Marook got a stick on it, but then Wilson recovers. Doug Wilson for the Hawks to Troy Murray. Now Snepsts at center ice, played it ahead. Off Shervin's stick. Doug Wilson knocked it ahead. McKegney intercepts, hits the line, lets it go. A pad save by Bannerman. Back at the point, Hartsburg, a slap shot. A great save by Bannerman. And he holds on for the whistle.
Well, Tony McKegney almost jarring that puck loose. He went right for the net as Hartsburg wound up to shoot. And he just about was able to bump that puck loose out of Murray Bannerman. Big save for Bannerman. McKegney had scored a couple of goals off that wing in the first game in Chicago. Hartsburg with a good hard shot coming in here, and you see McKegney right on the scene. Bannerman covers up with those pads as Marook looks for a loose puck. Dougie Wilson, such a strong player. He bounces Shervin down. Doesn't get enough credit for his defensive play, I don't think.
Early in period 2, there's a look at the score. Acton is on with Payne and Bellows.
Bellows had 4 shots in that first period, so he was out there doing what he could to try and score that go-ahead or tying goal.
He led all shooters with those 4 shots. Now Bob Murray for Chicago. Skates at the center ice. Out of the North Star line, he flips it in. And Gordy Roberts goes into the corner.
Chicago changes on the fly.
Bellows raps at it. It's kept in by Sutter. Taken away by Richter. Ahead to Bellows at center. Now to Keith Acton. Bearing down on Bob Murray. A backhand. A save by Bannerman. Bob Murray played it away from Payne. Yaremchuk shooting it out of the zone. Richter will have to wait for the zone to clear. He's being shadowed first by Sutter, then by Lysiak. Lysiak took it away. Throws it across for DuPont, who fires it in. Beaupre leaves it for Gordy Roberts, and the Blackhawks continue to change as Broughton gets it to Ciccarelli. 3-on-3 as they hit the line. The centering pass broken up by Doug Wilson. Chicago playing a rather solid game standing up as the North Stars come in. Now it's backhanded out by Sutter all the way down. Might have an icing here as Belichick goes after it. And they'll go back in the Chicago end.
Doug Wilson, we mentioned, not only a great offensive player, but we've seen about 5 examples already in this second period of how solid he is defensively, taking the body out. Great positional player as well. Excellent skater. He plays a lot of hockey for the Chicago team.
Get a look at Neil Broughton. And it appears that that line will be heading off the ice. Or is he coming on to play a wing here?
Chicago gets that puck deep in the North Stars zone and immediately change on the fly, and that enables them to get the line out that they want out on the ice. North Star bench is a long way from their own zone here in the second period, so it's difficult for the North Stars to make the changes on the fly.
Acton and Lysiak, 2 12s, getting ready for the face-off. From the draw, the puck is controlled by Ben Wilson. Wilson backhanding it over to Al Secord. Fred's guessed at our intermission. He'll shoot it in.
Lysiak had gotten in behind the North Star defense, but they were unable to get him the puck.
There's Brian Bellows. Now to Steve Payne. Trying to shoot it in. It was deflected by Lysiak. Payne rushing in after it. Bumped by Ben Wilson. Then checked by Secord, but Payne played it to Giles at the point. Wrist shot in front for Acton, and he was covered by Brown. Belichick knocks it free. A bouncing puck to Bellows. Back to Belichick. Slap shot. Ticked out by Bannerman. Bellows to the corner for Acton. Blackhawks checking in their own end is Canation. Giles. Slap shot. Never reached the net. Bellows is hauled down. There'll be a Chicago penalty.
Brown will get called for holding Bellows, I'm sure.
For our local systems, you're watching NHL hockey on Spectrum Sports.
Some great work out there with this line of Brian Bellows, Keith Acton, and Steve Payne. Chicago doing a pretty good job of defending, but the North Stars working equally as hard and controlling the puck. Good shot coming in from the point there, and Bellows unable to get free as the puck hits a player and just lands by Bellows' feet. Brown, who's played very strongly for Chicago, does what a defenseman's supposed to do, and he clears the traffic in front of the net.
Keith Brown goes off. He'll give the North Stars their third power play. 2:50 is the time.
Good shot from Giles, and that puck hit some traffic in front. You see Bannerman anticipating the shot. Puck just lies there, and Bellows just gets tackled.
Back at the blue line, Hartsburg waiting. Now to McKegney again. Behind the net, Plett tried to center it. Marouk tried to center it. Broken up by Doug Wilson that time. McKegney gets the loose puck. He's chased outside by Bob Murray, but got it back to Plett and over to Marouk. Tried to play it to the point. Excellent job of penalty killing by Chicago.
They get Willie Plett behind the net. They should try and keep him there, because as soon as the North Stars get control of the puck, he goes right to the front of the net, where he takes a lot of punishment to stand there, but he's very effective at screening the goaltender, as we saw on Ron Wilson's goal.
North Stars with an enormous edge in shots, 22-7. As Fred mentioned, a lot of those, particularly early in the first period, were from long range. Now Wilson. Plett and Bannerman go after it. Doug Wilson lost it to Plett. Plett is tied up by Murray. That's Bob Murray. But Plett got it to Hartsburg. Across, Ron Wilson a shot. And Bannerman got a piece of it to deflect it away. And Chicago clears.
Troy Murray comes out to replace Patterson.
Ron Wilson of the North Stars. Minute 12 on the power play. The pass got away from Marouk, and then it's shot all the way down by Ludzik this time. Got past Beaupre. Here's Willie Plett. Into the corner to Ron Wilson. Now ahead to McKegney. With Plett and Broughton, they fly into the zone. Broughton is forced to the outside. Tried to get it to Hartsburg, but Troy Murray takes it away and clears.
Power play situations, you want someone to get that puck into the zone and control it, and Chicago's been able to disrupt the play and throw it down immediately.
Blackhawks changing penalty killers, bringing Patterson and Gardner back on. Broughton got it in, forced outside by DuPont. Now a half minute on the power play. In a 3-2 hockey game, the Blackhawks lead. Broughton trying to get it free. Ciccarelli kicks it loose. And then quickly someone's right on top of him. That's DuPont. Then Bill Wilson. Throw a check from behind into Broughton in the first period. That would have been a penalty. And here comes Dirk Graham and Ben Wilson. And watch Graham let him fly.
Dirk Graham got in there to help Neil Broughton. He felt Ben Wilson had taken advantage of Neil Broughton. He came in to help out. He got 3 or 4 good punches in before Wilson could get turned around.
I guess when the game is called inconsistently, that's what you run into, a little protection from friends. With the score, Chicago 3, the North Stars 2. You're watching Spectrum Sports.
So one disadvantage to that line with Broughton, Ciccarelli, and Graham. All 3 forwards are not very big, and a big fellow like Ben Wilson can throw his weight around pretty effectively. DuPont takes Ciccarelli out effectively, and as Broughton's digging for the puck, he gets the run from behind, and in comes Dirk Graham to let Ben Wilson know that he's going to stand up for his centerman, and that's nice to see.
They each get 5-minute majors for fighting at 4:36.
Ben Wilson spent a fair amount of time in that penalty box tonight.
14 seconds remain on the penalty to Brown. So the North Stars will continue with a 5-on-4 power play.
Dirk Graham, one of the better playoff beards as we look at Paul Holmgren. A lot of intensity on that man, and is able to keep his wits about him behind the bench.
Oh, already there's a little talk going around about his value as a coach. What it might be. 7 seconds left in the power play. DuPont clearing it, nearly handed it away. But Patterson has it, shorthanded, bearing down, trying to get around Roberts, but it won't work.
Payne and Bellows very nearly ended up with a puck in front of Murray Bannerman there.
Now here's Hartsburg. 5 skaters aside as the penalty to Brown is over. Roberts got it to Acton. Acton trying to get around Bob Murray, stops. Cuts to the middle, checked by Sutter, rolled it in front, a loose puck. DuPont pokes at it, Payne will try to center. He's forced outside by DuPont. Flips it to the corner, Lysiak there, but he lost it. Bellows centers it, and Bannerman cleared it away.
Alert play by Murray Bannerman.
Bellows intercepts, goes to the middle on his backhand, and he just checked on the play by Lysiak. Gets ready to center it. Acton tried to one-time it, and something broke, I'm not sure what. Finding a loose puck to Bellows. In front for Acton, tees it up and shoots. It's blocked by Bannerman. Acton is tripped. There'll be a Chicago penalty here.
Keith Acton with some great chances in front of the net. I believe what we saw fly across in front of Bannerman was some tape off of Acton's stick. But Keith Acton working very hard out there. He's taking the rest of the tape off the stick as he takes a little breather. DuPont throwing some big checks out there, trying to help out his goaltender. The North Stars with great pressure. Bellows centers it across. Acton tees it up, and Bannerman makes the first save. And there you see DuPont trip Acton as Acton went after the rebound. Bellows spots Acton in good position to shoot. He gets a good shot off, and Bannerman's in trouble as the rebound comes out, and before Acton can get there, he gets tripped up.
5:39 the time of the tripping penalty. Unofficially, I have the North Stars with 4 power play chances, this being the 4th.
Jerome DuPont has played some fine hockey for Chicago late in the year as well, and he's been a real pleasant surprise, giving them 6 good solid defensemen.
A few instructions from Ray Scampanello, and now Broughton is in a little too quickly there. And Ciccarelli comes right in close just in case. All right, a North Star power play. Still looking for the tying goal. They're down 3-2. Broughton checked by Doug Wilson. O'Callahan checked by Berglund. Ciccarelli got it back to Broughton. He couldn't handle it. Ludzik will try to clear, and he does.
Good effort by Ludzik, fighting by a check to get that puck down.
Here's Ron Wilson turning it up ice ahead to Bo Berglund. Drop to Ciccarelli. Back to the point, Ron Wilson to Kurt Giles. Ron Wilson again, centering for Ciccarelli. He deflects it right on, and Bannerman makes a stick save. Broughton behind the net, takes a look. Ciccarelli tied up. Broughton is checked. Hangs on to the puck. A lot of action in front of the net. Here's Neil Broughton. Ciccarelli is manhandled in front. Broughton hangs on to it. Got it to Giles. Now to Broughton again, and finally it's cleared by O'Callahan.
Referee Gregson watching a lot of heavy traffic in front of the net. No calls made. He's letting them play, as they say.
Sometimes, anyway. Now exactly a minute left on the penalty to DuPont. Here's McKechnie. Got it to Willie Plett, and the centering pass deflected by Bob Murray. The Rook went after it, but it's cleared by Bob Murray. Willie Plett again in the corner. Now McKechnie with it. McKechnie checked by Brown. Played it to the boards for Ron Wilson, who centers it. It's knocked down in front by Bob Murray, and it went wide. Now McKechnie. Ron Wilson again keeps it in. McKechnie reaching for it. A half minute on the power play. Maruk in the corner. Ron Wilson waiting. The drive, and a pad save on the screen shot. Finally cleared by Patterson, but Hartsburg went high in the air to knock it down. But unfortunately for him, lost sight of the puck. Hartsburg poked it to center, was hooked. Now Willie Plett has it. In over the line for McKechnie, and it bounced away from him. Willie Plett in the corner. Goes behind the net. In front to Hartsburg, a drive. Blocked by Bannerman. He's lost the puck, and play is called.
The whistle had blown.
There will be no goal here.
No one knew where the puck was. The whistle had definitely blown. Craig Hartsburg moving in and getting a cannon of a shot that Bannerman, I don't think, even saw.
And Troy Murray get ready to face off. Acton wins the draw. Velishek has it. Out of Bellows. He's checked by O'Callahan. The penalty to DuPont is over right now. We're 5 skaters aside. And the Hawks shoot it down. There might be icing, but no, it comes in on Beaupre. He played it ahead quickly to Giles. Now to Steve Payne, who backhands it in. 12 minutes to play in period 2. The Blackhawks leading 3-2. All of the goals scored in the first period. Now Al Secord hits the line, and it's swept away by Giles, who broke up the rush nicely. Secord missed the check on Velishek, and Brian Bellows breaks out, fires it across the Payne. With Acton, lets it go, and it's blocked by Bannerman. Bannerman plays it off the glass. It stays in the rink, And finally, O'Callahan shoots it to center where Savard knocked it down. Picks it up himself, then lost it to Giles, and the bouncing puck creates an offside. This is the Norris Division Finals on Spectrum Sports.
Well, great end-to-end action here in this second period. 11:38 remaining. North Stars with a commanding lead in shots, but the game is a little more even than the shots would indicate. 28-8 in favor of the North Stars.
Blackhawks have only had one shot on goal in this period. We're coming up on the halfway point. Acton and Savard.
Boy, it was quite an ordeal to get the puck dropped here. Every time they have a face-off, it seems to take forever. Acton quite upset. Savard has his stick on the ice, and the referee won't drop there. The linesman won't drop the puck until Acton gets in there.
Finally, it's shot in by Bob Murray.
Chicago changes on the go once again, so they've got the right line matchup out there.
Out of Acton at center. Flying in, he's checked, hangs onto it and shoots, but it hit the leg of Bob Murray, and he is a little shaken up. Yaremchuk's pass broken up by Richter. Lysiak back at center. Bob Murray. 3-2, the Blackhawks lead. DuPont flipping it in. Beaupre stopped it. Lysiak went right in after it. Roberts had to get it to Berglund quickly. Now to Ciccarelli. He's got Broughton breaking onside. Broughton on a breakaway. Waits. He shoots. Oh, and a save. They center it. And the bouncing puck is cleared.
How that puck stayed out of the net is unbelievable. I don't know whether Bannerman got a piece of it or Broughton just missed.
Hawks, the North Stars shooting it in offside.
What a great burst of speed by Neil Broughton, and then a super move right in front of the goaltender. It appeared he had Bannerman down and out. Whether Bannerman reached back and got a piece of that was hard to tell. Good pass from Ciccarelli here. Ciccarelli zings the pass to him, and he's got O'Callahan beat. Uses that leg to protect the puck. Look at that. It looks like he's got the whole net, and I think he just missed the net. Great effort by Neil Broughton. Bannerman stays with him all the way, so Broughton comes back, and he just missed that net.
We're watching a couple of the game's great center icemen tonight, Savard and Broughton. Savard put a good move on early in the first period and wound up scoring a goal. North Stars with Broughton on a great move, and that one missed by a couple of inches. It's centered to Berglund. He's jammed down from behind after he got the shot off wide.
Ciccarelli took a run at Savard and just missed.
Now Sutter's shooting it in. It's offside again, and we'll have a face-off.
That was Yaremchuk that ducked. Bo Berglund just got clobbered in front of the net. Ciccarelli reacted and tried to take Yaremchuk's head off. Yaremchuk still talking to the official over there. See, Broughton, you have to give Broughton a lot of credit. Ciccarelli with a big shot. Here's Berglund getting rifled in front of the net from behind, and see Ciccarelli coming across, and boy, he really combed the top of Yaremchuk. Kind of equaled the score here as Berglund gets a great scoring chance right there, and he pays for it.
No cross check, right? Fraser in the corner. Olchuk behind the net. Centers it for Fraser. It got through. A turnaround shot by O'Callahan, and a glove save by Beaupre. That was a tough one.
Good play by O'Callahan. He got rid of that puck in a hurry, and Chicago had two players waiting for a rebound, but Beaupre covers up.
Don't blink your eyes in this game. You'll miss about 3 shots and 2 checks.
Centering pass here by Olchuk goes right through everyone. O'Callahan makes a fine spinorama play and fires it in on the net. See Troy Murray stick his foot out trying to deflect it, but Beaupre is able to hold on.
Well, that's where the concentration comes in. Look at that lopsided margin. We'll point out again that a lot of the North Star shots have been from long range, but they've also had some real good close-in chances.
They certainly have. Dirk Graham and Ben Wilson join their respective benches after their time in the penalty box.
Unfortunately, some of those close-in chances just don't show up on the shot clock as they've missed by a few inches.
Dave Richter's eye healing up very well. He's got the stitches out, and most of the color is gone as well. So
from the face-off, the Hawks pull it right back to center ice. Doug Wilson and Willie Plett. It's off Plett's skate, grabbed by Marouk. He's onside. Marouk cuts to the middle, tried to center it ahead for Hartsburg, and is batted away. Now O'Callahan for Chicago to Troy Murray off his stick. It goes into the zone. Snaps. Gets there, and it'll be icing Chicago. You're watching Stanley Cup playoffs on Spectrum Sports. from the face-off. The North Stars keep it in as Flett centers it in front, and it's batted away by Fraser. Now Maruk is checked, but hangs on to the puck, at least for a while. And it's now finally called frozen.
A lot of heavy traffic along the boards, a lot of bumping and banging. Both these teams will welcome that 3-day rest they have. They'll play that next game until Sunday in Chicago. Big man Willie Flett, see the perspiration just rolling off of him. He's been working very hard out there, along with his line mates Maruk and McKegney. North Stars send out Acton, Bellows, and Payne.
Game is really evened out here. And it's turning out first three.
That was part of Glenn Sonmore's strategy, and home team has the last change.
Secord getting it in. He's spun around by Giles. No penalty there. Secord centers it. That deflects behind the net. Here's Giles again. Not a Steve Payne. Looking for Bellows at center, too far, and it trapped Broughton in ahead of the line, over the line offside.
Well, there's a player that has been noted for his playoff performances, and the North Stars could certainly use some of those goals right now.
Payne with just one in the 6 games thus far in the playoffs. He also has 2 assists. 9:22 left in the second period. Kurt Giles. Not a Neil Broughton. Belichick. Giles again. Broughton. Broughton is centering Payne and Bellows right now as they bring it in. Broughton turns aside. At the point, Giles a blast. Kicked out by Bannerman. It's loose to Payne. He centers it, and it rolled right through. Larmer trying to get it out. Savard pokes at it, broken up by Acton. Acton looking for Payne. The drop to Bellows. The shot went wide. Now Savard has it. Savard for Chicago, 3-on-3 right now. They move it up slowly. Savard waits, then flips it in. Beaupre stops it. Giles knocks it around. It's deflected in front. Grabbed by Larmer, who circles. He centers to Savard. A turnaround shot and a goal. A thing of beauty. Tom Lysiak.
What a great move by Tom Lysiak there. That pass was 4 feet behind him. He reached back and grabbed it, spun around, and shot all in the same motion. North Stars get a bad break as the puck rings around the boards, takes a funny bounce, and ends up on Larmer's stick. He gets it over to Lysiak, and as you see, it was way behind Lysiak, but he was able to control it, turn around, and make a pretty nice shot into the corner of the net. Not much room there, as you see. Just a couple of inches, and the puck gets by.
His third goal of the playoffs comes at 11:25. It also comes on the 10th Chicago shot, and it makes it 4-2.
Well, Lysiak proving his worth very much so in this series. He's had a great series against the North Stars.
Neil Broughton goes after it in the corner with Bob Murray. Murray cleared it. It's loose to Roberts. He sidesteps the check. Shoots, deflected. Rebound to Broughton. He goes behind the net and centers it. It hits Cicerelli. A backhand is stopped by Bannerman. Unbelievable. Now Roberts again at center. Here's Broughton. And it's easily picked off by Bob Murray. Hits the line offside. And they'll bring it back for a face-off. This is the National Hockey League on Spectrum Sports.
Some great chances to score.
There's a look at 4 television outlets carrying the game. From left to right, USA, then Canadian Sports Network. We're in the middle. And Sports Vision of Chicago is here. Well, 3 of the 4 are pay facilities.
Chicago really throwing some different line combinations out there, trying to throw off the line matchups. They have Yaremchuk out with Sutter and Secord.
It's getting to be bordering on ridiculous here with the face-offs.
Certainly is. You talk about delay a game. This is certainly delayed the game way too much. Chicago has players off of 3 lines out there right now. So how do you match that?
Well, right now they're matched up against the Broughton line.
Now we've got Savard and Larmer coming out with Secord, so they've got the big line out there.
8 minutes left in period 2. The North Stars trail by 2. As the puck is shot all the way down, there's no icing here. The last goal, Lysiak from Larmer at 11:25. Larmer getting the lone assist. Now Richter spins away from Savard. Got it to Dennis Maruk. Ahead to Tony McKegney. He carries it in, goes to his backhand. Has no one to pass it to, and his shot hit the outside of the net. Now Now McKegney goes after the puck in the corner with Secord. Checked from behind by Wilson. And they'll have a face-off coming up.
Glenn Sonmore apparently wanting to play the Marouk line against Savard. Savard and Marouk are pushing and shoving out there right in front of the net. Good pass up the middle here, and McKegney with good speed just about turns the Chicago defense. But watch how efficiently they come back and pick up their man. Callahan picks up one, and Wilson picks up the other one. Now we have a
couple of penalties coming up here, Fred. Perhaps delay of game or some sort of penalty called by Terry Gregson. It'll be Marouk and Savard.
Two fiery competitors, and apparently they did a little bit too much jabbering at one another for Gregson's liking, and they've been sent to the penalty box.
That'll bring the penalty minute total up to 66.
Chicago's got two full lines of people on the ice here, and that's not a healthy situation if anything should break out.
35 minutes against Chicago, 31 minutes against the North Stars. So the North Stars have had 2 extra power plays. They have had a ton more shots, but they trail in the game by 2.
Number 18, Dennis Savard, and the North Stars number 9, Dennis Marouk. Minors each for roughing. Time of the penalties, 12:45.
Well, we hear the call, 2 minutes apiece for roughing. Ben Sonmore giving the officials a little advice down there at the end of the North Star bench. Some great shots along that bench from that camera between the benches.
Well, we've talked about how the North Star shot total may be a little misleading, but nonetheless, Chicago has only taken 10 shots. That's quite a story in itself. Now Troy Murray and Tony McKegney. Well, let's save this for training camp. Get the instructions settled in, and let's play hockey in the playoffs here. Now Olczyk tied up by Snett. The puck is lying loose there and taken away by Troy Murray. Hartsburg is back. Troy Murray centers it, broken up, and then Troy Murray's shot went wide. 4 skaters aside. Flett throwing it back in his own zone for Hartsburg. With that Olczyk and Troy Murray forechecking. Hartsburg in a little sticky situation there. Finally got it to McKegney. With Flett, they hit the line onside. The shot and a stick save by Bannerman. Flett throws a check to knock Bob Murray down, but the Hawks have the puck. Troy Murray with Olczyk. Watched by Sneps, but they can't get past Hartsburg. Here's Bellows just off the bench. Bellows with Acton in over the line. Centered it to Acton. He was trapped there by Wilson. And Larmer goes after it. Knocks it free. And hangs on to the puck. Steve Larmer will go behind the net. 1 minute left in those penalties to Marouk and Savard. 6 minutes left in the second period. The Blackhawks lead 4-2. O'Callahan to Gardner off his stick, grabbed by Velishek. He's alone at center, and then his pass to Acton was deflected. Acton throwing it back. Velishek has it over to Kurt Giles. Met by Gardner. Hangs onto the puck. Brings it in. Acton goes after it. So does Bellows. Bellows stops in the corner, bothered by Doug Wilson. Giles keeps it alive. He's checked by Gardner. Doug Wilson cleared it out, and here come the Blackhawks. Troy Murray at center. Drops it or hangs onto it, and then he's spun around. And actually, Steve Larmer goes after the puck. Now Larmer takes it away and centered it, but it's broken up by Velishek. Larmer shooting it around again. 15 seconds on those minor penalties. Around to Lysiak. Waiting, shooting.
Oh, off the post.
Hit the goal post. Beaupre never saw it, and the rebound by Ben Wilson fired wide. Brown is shot. That sails wide. And the minor penalties are over. Now it's taken away by Bellows. And then taken away from him by Ben Wilson. He was looking for a breakaway pass to Dennis Marouk. Giles from behind the net. Cicerelli at center. With Broughton and Graham, they hit the line. And it's called offside.
Do anything you can to win the draw.
It looks like both players are going to get 10-minute misconduct penalties. They're being sent to the dressing rooms.
Ben Wilson and Richter, I guess. Gregson really having his work cut out for him here tonight. See the perspiration on his brow.
Still 5:02 left to play.
Beaufort giving that gum a pretty good work over.
23, Ben Wilson, and the North Stars number 5, Dave Richter. 10-minute misconduct penalties each. Time of the penalties.
All right, 14:58 is the time. They'll be back at roughly the 5-minute mark of the third period. Chicago, meanwhile, leading by 2 goals, 4-2. And if the North Stars will get back into it, a goal in this period would be a huge help. Bob Murray. Long pass to Savard at center ice. 3-on-2 as they hit the line. Savard centers for Secord. A save by Beaupre. A great glove save.
A great save for sure, Frank. That puck just slid through to Savard or Secord, and he got a good hard backhand shot off. Beaupre picked it off about 2 inches off the ice.
Chicago had a pretty easy go of it here on this 3-on-2.
Great example of the speed and respect that Savard gets there. He just slid that puck through, and you see Secord redirecting it, and a great save by Don Beaupre, or we'd be looking at a 5-2 game. See, Savard, got to think that was a bit of a play. He whiffed on that pass a little bit, and it worked out pretty well for him.
That last little bit of a disturbance is over. There's a look at Beaupre's record against Chicago here at the Met Center. 9-2-2. And that's one of the reasons why they wanted to use him against the Blackhawks.
Look at the North Star bench. They realize the importance of this game. 4:36 left in this second period, and it seems to be taking forever.
Neil Broughton is ready for the North Stars. Tom Lysiak ready for the Blackhawks.
See, Lysiak had his stick down, ready to go, and Broughton didn't go in there. Now, Broughton's got to come in once Lysiak's down.
And once they do that, then the players are in the circle too soon. So we start over. Lysiak down, then Broughton, and then Ciccarelli comes in the circle again.
I've seen officials come over and call a penalty, say one more time, and they're going to call you for jumping in there. And that's something I think they're going to have to maybe do. It'd be a tough penalty to call, but it would certainly make them stay in their places for a minute.
Did Broughton take himself out of there? It looked like he just quickly changed places with Ciccarelli. Anyway, they'll draw to the Hawks, and it got away from DuPont. Ciccarelli and DuPont in a race for the puck. DuPont went down. The puck is loose, but it's offside.
Jerome DuPont with a big effort to get back, and boy, he took a lot of stick from Ciccarelli as he was going after that puck. He's played very well for Chicago, and it's hard to find anybody that's played much better than Tom Lysiak the last 2 games here. He's a real veteran.
Both of his playoff goals have come against the North Stars.
He made 2 or 3 key defensive plays the other night that really impressed me. He's really come on under Coach Bob Pulford.
Now 4 minutes and 23 seconds left in the second period.
Let's keep our eye on this face-off. It's up to Chicago to put their stick down first, and then the North Stars must get in there. Savard's down.
Acton's down, and they drop the puck.
It's pretty simple. I don't know why there was much problem. Should have told him earlier.
Doug Wilson, a long shot, deflects into the corner. Now Payne goes after it. Loose puck bounces free. Acton has it again. Down to Hartsburg. Acton. Time for somebody to explode here. Acton stops. Centers for Bellows. He was checked. Loose puck and a goal.
Craig Hartsburg coming all the way in from the point. And what a big goal that is for the North Stars late in the second period.
Not an explosion, but a big goal anyway.
Hartsburg scored some big goals for the North Stars in the playoffs. You'll see Brian Bellows being ushered out of there by Al Secord. Hartsburg spins Savard around, and he gets in there. Savard takes a little whack at him, but Hartsburg's by, and that's how it broke down right there. A great play by Hartsburg to get in. Got to gamble a little bit at this stage.
Hartsburg with 1 goal and 1 assist tonight, and boy, was that a huge one. Slides in so smoothly, almost unnoticed. 4-3. The Blackhawks lead has been cut to 1.
Troy Murray got caught by a high stick from Fraser, his own teammate, and he goes off. He's having a tough time with high sticks.
Now Marouk shooting it in. Willie Plett goes after it, but another Chicago player is down.
Willie Plett clunked Doug Wilson on the top of the head with his stick, and there's going to be a high sticking penalty called right there. Wilson's quite upset.
I don't know, did Willie say he didn't mean it?
I think...
or he didn't care, I'm not sure which.
Willie went to try and go into forecheck, and Wilson ran a little interference, and Willie just dropped the stick on top of Wilson's head. Keith Acton firing it out, trying to get the puck to Bellows, but he's checked by Secord, and Hartsburg with a great effort goes in, and boy, he's pretty smooth when he gets in close.
Bellows and Acton get the assists. 16:06 the time. And the high sticking penalty comes at 16:26.
Well, this is a big penalty kill for the North Stars. Just got themselves back in the game. There's Doug Wilson, who was hit on the back of the head with that stick.
They're lucky that they didn't draw blood. That would have been an automatic major.
Wilson probably had a pretty good lump in the back of his head there. One of the few players not to wear a helmet.
3.5 roughly to go. Blackhawks go to a power play, and it'll be their third.
Chicago puts Gardner back on the point to replace Doug Wilson for the first part of this power play.
Penalty killers for Minnesota are Broughton and Graham up front. Belichick, Roberts back on defense. Gardner driving it around. Got past Beaupre. Larmer centers it, and Belichick clears as Doug Wilson steps on. Here's Bob Murray to Doug Wilson again. Watched by Neil Broughton. Bob Murray now. From center. Drives it around, and he caroms into the far corner for Secord. He's hit by Belichick. That draws a great roar. And it's cleared inadvertently by Chicago back to center.
Good job by Randy Valashek there, working hard on Al Secord in the corner.
Bob Murray's pass to Secord. He wasn't ready for it. Valashek cleared it again. It looked like he was trying to pass it to Graham. And the Hawks are able to intercept. Larmer to Savard. Open. Fakes. Cuts in on goal. Then has to stop. Savard in the slot for Larmer. A shot. And a save by Beaupre. And Broughton hauls the loose puck out, but not out of the zone. Here's Savard. Took the drop pass. He centered to Secord. Has a wide open net, and he missed. A huge break for the North Stars. 40 seconds left in the power play, and play is called.
Chicago with 3 glorious opportunities right there. Now Secord and Gordy Roberts are exchanging pushes. Wayne Bonney gets hit with a high stick as Neil Broughton's in the middle of it. Al Secord having a great opportunity to score. Larmer having an excellent chance just before that. He fanned on his shot.
Boy, a goal there could have completely demoralized the North Stars.
Started off with Savard's great shot right there. He tried to do the same thing he did on the first goal, but Beaupre stayed with them. He centered it out to Larmer, and Larmer looks like he's got a lot of net to shoot at. He fanned on his shot. Just as Broughton gets the puck apparently over the blue line, they keep it in, and Al Secord gets a great pass from Savard, and it looks like he's got the whole net to shoot it in, and he missed it. Boy. Great pressure by Chicago. They'd love to score another goal here and get that 2-goal lead back at the end of the period. Yaremchuk talking to Gregson. Sutter talking to Gregson.
And Bob Murray is upset.
They want to know why the faceoff's outside the blue line, I think.
The only reason I can think is that it would be the fact that the defenseman came in too deep.
Bob Murray says, go talk to the linesman. They say that the defenseman didn't come in.
See, this is where the linesman ought to have a little more power. If that's what they're saying, they ought to be able to go right to the referee and change his decision.
That is a linesman call. There's a good check by Randy Valachek in the corner on Big Al Secord. He comes back and takes him out again. Randy Valachek playing strong hockey for the North Stars.
40 seconds left in the penalty to Plett. Giles waits, tries to get it out. It hit Bob Murray, a rolling puck. And Giles threw a check with a high stick, and then it's cleared out by Acton.
Kurt Giles says you want the puck, you're going to have to pay for it, and his gamble paid off there. He got there first.
Now Bob Murray again. Firing it in. It's deflected by Sneps. Beaupre has to clear it away, but it hits Sutter. Now Lysiak has it. 15 seconds on the power play. Bob Murray to Doug Wilson. In front for Lysiak to Bob Murray again. Doug Wilson. Watched there by Bellows. Troy Murray has it. 3 seconds on the power play. Bob Murray cutting in deep as Doug Wilson shoots. He shot it wide. Willie Plett's back on the ice. They center at a scramble, and Beaupre covers.
Harold Smith trying to get people out of there. Willie Plett's involved. Keith Acton's involved. Don Beaupre says, get me out of here, and he leaves the crease. Close call.
Wilson and Brown are into the hash marks. They're technically in past the top of the face-off circle.
But they realize that the linesmen have their back turned, so they have to back out as soon as the linesmen turn around. Close call as Chicago puts on a lot of pressure. Great penalty killing by Kurt Giles. Harold Schneps. Doug Wilson shoots off the pass, and it misses the net by a couple of inches. Puck bounces off a stick there, ends up right on Lysiak, and Beaupre covers up, and here comes Harold Schneps to get Lysiak out of there. No penalties called, I don't believe.
All right, the last line changes are going to be made here with 1:29 to go in the second period.
Randy Valashek certainly getting an education as to the way battles are won in playoff hockey. And
apparently, some of our viewers on the Rogers cable systems had trouble with the video, for which we apologize. I understand they have already been fixed up. We hope it didn't last too long for you folks. 4-3 is the score. The Blackhawks lead, but the North Stars have scored the last goal of the game. And we're in the closing few seconds here of period number 2. McKechnie to Marouk. It's 3-on-2. Willie Plett lets it go, and Bannerman blocks it. McKechnie the rebound, blocked by Patterson. McKechnie gets the loose puck. Marouk is trapped in front. The loose puck in the slot is taken away. And Patterson leads a 2-on-1 break with Ludzik. Patterson shooting, blocked by Beaupre. Rebound cleared by McKechnie.
great end-to-end action.
Now a minute to go in the second period. Marouk at center. Hits the Chicago line. Lets it go. It was deflected into the corner. Marouk gets his own rebound, tried to center, but that hit Brown, who clears it out of play.
I'll keep our eye on Kurt Fraser and Willie Plett. They've gone at it a number of times, and they had a few occasions in front of that net to exchange some blows and some words. Tony McKechnie playing a whale of a game for the North Stars. And boy, what a period of hockey this has been. What a great,
been an entertaining hockey game.
Great all-around player Patterson is. He gets a chance here on a 2-on-1 and makes a fine shot. Hartsburg plays it very well. He stays in the middle right to the dying end and then goes down to block the shot. Beaupre comes out and the puck comes off of Beaupre, and McKechnie covers up, picks the puck up and gets it out of harm's way. Big face-off here. Neil Broughton against Troy Murray.
Rada Valashek shoots. A high shot hit Olchuk. O'Callahan and Cicerelli. It comes free to Broughton. He took it away. Had to get it away from the referee as well. Now Cicerelli. Backhand pass. Valashek shooting. A goal!
Now Randy Valashek gets his second goal. The fans go wild.
We have a tie hockey game at 4.
33 seconds remaining in the period. Cicerelli getting the puck back to Randy Valashek, and he gets his second goal of the game. Cicerelli comes up with the puck here, and the instinct is to go to the net, but he gets it back, and Valashek with a hard shot. Appears like Bannerman was screened.
Looked like it might have been Olchuk in front of the net. Keep an eye on number 16, Olchuk.
Goaltenders will tell you, you either block it or get out of the way and let me see it.
Well, they're on their feet for the young defenseman Randy Valashek and the North Stars, who have rallied to tie this game at 4-4. And finally, we get the face-off at center ice. Here's Larmer playing it in. Giles intercepts. Giles shooting it out to Payne, now to Acton, 3-on-2. Acton cutting in, and then had it swept away by DuPont. 18 seconds to go in the period. Acton centering it, swept away by the defense, and the Hawks come out 3 men across. 10 seconds left, long shot wide of the target. Both Bellows whacks on it, he got it to Payne. Too far for Acton. DuPont plays it away, and the second period comes to an end. Listen to the roar.
Willie Plett out there challenging someone, and Gregson's telling him to go to his bench. He's directing traffic out there. He wants Chicago to leave the ice immediately.
Well, Randy Valashek will be our guest coming up at this intermission. Little change in plans there, and you bring in a great guest. He's got to be riding about 6 feet off the ground right now.
Well, a tough game for these officials, but boy, is it entertaining hockey, and the fans love it. Both teams have left the ice, and order is maintained, so we're getting ready for our intermission.
All right, Fred, we'll put our feet up on the desk here, and we'll let Dick Kramer...
All right, guys, come on, yeah!
Hang on to your hats, folks, because on April 27th...
A first-round choice in the NHL entry draft. He's been named to the League All-Star team and has averaged over 100 points in each of his 4 pro seasons. Yet, he's been called the most inconsistent player in hockey.
It's really funny. It depends. I think it depends how you get ready mentally for a game. You know, when you play teams like Edmonton and Islanders, Montreal, Quebec, all of Boston, all these big teams, I think you get really up for those games. You know, you come out against teams, I don't want to mention any teams because I think, you know, it's not the right thing to say, but when you come out against weak teams, it seems like you're not up for those games. And, you know, I think the mental preparation is really important for a hockey player, for any athletes anyway, and this is probably what I'm missing some nights.
Despite the knocks, Savard has long been known as a skilled puck handler and playmaker. A reputation he gained in Montreal with the Junior Canadiens and one of the most famous junior lines ever, the Trois Denis.
You know, we were so close as friends that things were worked out on the ice so easy. You know, off the ice we used to be out together all the time, and you know, we played together since we were probably 8 years old, and you know, I guess once you play together as a line for about 10 years, you really know where to go at the certain spot. So, you know, we worked well together, and we had everything on the line. Dennis Shear was a goal scorer, and I was probably the playmaker on the line. We had Dennis Strelny, who was a 6'2", and probably weighing 200 pounds at 18 years old. He was the grinder on our line. So, you know, we were playing well together, and we had everything going for us.
As a youngster, Savard wore a Hawks jersey when he played. But the fact the Montreal Canadiens did not draft him when they had the chance in 1980 was a surprise.
I was probably a little disappointed for not being drafted by Montreal at the time, but today, when you say this, I think I'm probably the happiest person in the world just to be part of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Well, we saw a very exciting young man who we felt was, you know, had the attitude, personality, the confidence to be, with his ability to be a good player. And we, at that time, Stan Mikita was retiring, and we needed that centerman to come in and to be that colorful player for us.
Savard is only 5'10", 175, but says his size hasn't been a problem.
It's been good so far. I've been getting hit a lot, but, you know, I think sometimes it gets you in the game, it gets you going. You know, I remember stories where, you know, I was not going well one night, and all of a sudden somebody came charging at me and just hit me, and all of a sudden woke me up, and I started to play a lot better. You know, you got to expect that, and you got to make sure that you're ready for it, too, because sometimes, you know, it could get really, really dangerous.
And most of Savard's spare time finds him admiring horses.
Well, you know, I've been involved in racing for about 3 years now, and the reason why I got involved with is a close friend of mine, Serge Savard, is general manager with the Montreal Canadiens. Serge owns probably 12 of them, and I've got partnered with one of my friends back in Montreal 2 years ago. I bought one horse by the name of Lemmy Star, and Lemmy Star, we paid for him $20,000, and in the first year he ran for us, we made $40,000, which was pretty good.
But there is nothing Dennis Savard enjoys more than playing hockey.
Al Secor may be the focus of the Minnesota fans when the Blackhawks come to Minnesota, but as far as the players and the coaching staff are concerned, number 18 has to be the focus of attention. We'll be back with more of our second intermission in just a moment.
Beaupre,
A little difficult to plan against, a little tough to defend against.
Don Beaupre only facing 14 shots, but some real tough ones. The shot's 37-14. Bannerman really playing outstanding again here tonight. Even if you say 10 of those North Star shots were from outside bad angles, they're still out shooting Chicago 2-1.
Well, the goal by Valashek has really raised the spirits of the people here, but lest we forget there's 20 minutes to play, and it's still only a 4-4 game. If momentum means anything, you would think the North Stars would have to have it at this point. Here's a steal by Troy Murray. He centers it, and Olchuk couldn't catch up to the loose puck. Now Dennis Maruk goes after it. He cleared it away from Fraser. It's loose in front. Someone has accidentally turned the goal light on, but the North Stars bring to center. Maruk fakes the shot, then he sends it to the corner for Willie Plett. Plett leaving it for McKechnie, who's bumped by Troy Murray, and O'Callahan has it. Shooting it around, Step keeps it in, center to McKechnie, he's checked, and the Blackhawks are unable to get it out. Now O'Callahan shooting it around. Here's Doug Wilson to Troy Murray, who knocks it down with the glove. Plett shooting, a stick save by Bannerman. Now Maruk played it behind the net, and it got away from Olchuk in the corner. Sneps ran into Plett, but he still got the puck behind the net to Maruk. He's hit by Murray and nearly centered it. Doug Wilson has it. Loose puck in the corner, cleared by Troy Murray. He's hit by Plett. Olchuk is able to jam it out of there, and it rolls on in.
North Star defense being very aggressive, pinching in, trying to keep that puck in. Hartsburg coming up ice.
Here's Payne. Trying to get around Murray. He shoots it, blocked by Bannerman. Murray lost the puck. It comes free to Bellows. Bellows got tangled up, then lost it to DuPont. And into the corner for Acton. Checked by Savard. Acton centering it. DuPont intercepts. Plays it up ice to Secor. Pass picked off by Giles. Waits for the zone to clear. Slap shot deflected by Bob Murray. And he plays it off the glass. Payne knocked it down. And they call stick above the shoulder.
High stick as Bob Murray pulls the puck down out of the air. Steve Payne and Brian Bellows trying to get something going out there. Been frustrated so far. Bellows had 4 shots on goal in the first period and came up with nothing.
Bellows with 1 assist in the game tonight. And
puck comes off the glass and Payne knocks it down out of the air.
Glad we had the replay. It was quite clear on that it was a stick above the shoulder. Well, some of the fans who have visited the concession stand more often are trying to get the wave going. Here's a steal by Sutter. Checked by Cicerelli. Yaremchuk goes after it, centers it. It was behind Lysiak. No one's at the point. Here comes Broughton. 2-on-2. Watched by Doug Wilson. The drop to Graham, and he drives it in deeper. Bannerman clearing it around. Broughton trying to muscle away from Wilson. He did. Cicerelli tries to stuff it in, and it's taken away by the Hawks. Now Sutter at center with Yaremchuk, shooting it in on Beaupre, and he sweeps it aside for Valashek. Ahead to Dino Cicerelli. Dino firing it across. It hit the Chicago player O'Callahan, who lost it. Broughton centering, deflected by a Chicago player. It came right through. Ron Wilson retreated to center ice and gets the puck over to Roberts. Now to Dirk Graham. He's in a crowd, and he's knocked down on a solid check by DuPont. The pass a little bit too far for the hot player Troy Murray. Now Roberts. Pass deflected but picked up by Graham over to Ron Wilson. Coming up on the 3-minute mark of period number 3 in a 4-4 game. Roberts picks it off. Ran into a check, then went down as he hit Troy Murray. Willie Plett. Here's a loose puck. Bellows, a shot to goal. Gordy Roberts.
Well, all 5 goals scored by defensemen, and Gordy Roberts made the big play there as the puck was shot around the boards. He stepped inside that Chicago winger and kept it in. Then there was a bang crash episode along the boards. Roberts came up with a loose puck, but the big play was out at the blue line. He stepped inside the Chicago winger just there and kept the puck in. Some heavy hitting in here. Willie Plett, Maruk, and there's Roberts getting the puck and stuffing it in.
You see, he was bent over. I called the goal. Bellows, figuring no defenseman would be in that deep. But Roberts gives the North Stars the lead for the first time.
McKechnie with the puck coming down the wing.
Checked there by Bob Murray. Troy Murray goes after it. He's hit by Willie Plett, who got the puck free, but then he was bumped by Fraser. And there's going to be a penalty Chicago, but wait, the sticks are still up.
Referee has signaled an elbowing penalty.
Now things have settled down. We'll take a break. This is the Norris Division Finals on Spectrum Sports.
Now Kurt Fraser in the penalty box, and he definitely threw an elbow. You see it coming right here and whack right in the side of Willie Plett's face. Good call by the official.
The North Stars are 1 for 4 on the power play. Fraser goes off for elbowing at 3:15. Now Bellows checked by O'Callahan. Wilson cleared it, but not out. Now Payne knocked it free. Bellows played it to the point for Hartsburg. On the power play, the slap shot sails on him and comes off the glass. Payne in the corner. Wilson is there. It comes loose to Bellows. Trying to play it to the point. It was deflected by Gardner to Patterson. Now back to Gardner. He shoots from center. That shot was way high off the glass. Now a minute and a half on the Fraser penalty. Here's a near steal by Gardner. And Hartsburg has it. The center ice for Payne. Now to Acton. They hit the line 3-on-2, and Doug Wilson breaks it up. Acton takes it right back. Acton setting up a minute 15 on the power play. North Stars ahead by a goal. A shot deflected. And it went wide.
Bannerman going one way, the puck deflected the other and just missing the net.
Now 1 minute left on Fraser's penalty as both teams change. Ron Wilson to Hartsburg. Broughton's line is on. Here's Broughton shooting it in. Graham and DuPont and Troy Murray go after it. They lost it. Cicerelli knocked it free. Cicerelli in the corner. Watched by Bob Murray. Lost it then. Ludzik cleared it, but Hartsburg recovers at center. Ron Wilson sidesteps Ludzik. From center, fired it too far for Broughton. Bannerman gets the stick. Bob Murray tries to drive it around. Blocked by Hartsburg. Knocked away from him for a moment, then batted out of the zone by Troy Murray. 25 seconds left in the Fraser penalty. Beaupre way out to steer it away from the on-rushing player Ludzik. And Hartsburg has it for one more North Star power play rush. Broughton to center. Hits the Chicago line. Now Graham centering it. Broken up by Doug Wilson. Cleared around. And Hartsburg was way in deep. The puck is clear.
Big defensive play by Doug Wilson blocking that centering attempt.
Fraser steps on the ice. Here's Marouk knocked down by Doug Wilson. And O'Callahan has it again. Now his pass too far for everybody. For some reason they wave off the icing.
They felt Randy Valachek was close enough and didn't make an attempt for the puck.
Now Marouk, his pass picked off by Secord as the North Stars are coming in waves right now. Valachek to center as Minnesota changes on the fly. Fans beginning to chant Secord's favorite phrase, or at least their favorite phrase about Secord. Savard knocks it away. Bob Murray has it.
Penalty coming up here. Savard was dumped.
And we'll have a face-off coming up, and a little push leads to shove there.
Dennis Marouk trying to get into the action. Boy, every time there's a stoppage in play, there's a dance out there.
All right, we'll fill you in a moment. This is North Stars Hockey from Bloomington on Spectrum Sports.
Marouk for cross-checking. It happened right in front of the official, and no way he could miss that one. He cross-checked Dennis Savard to the ice, so the Chicago team gets a chance on the power play. Beaupre down on one knee, taking a little rest.
Penalty happened at center ice. Wasn't the puck still in the Chicago zone?
Well, Bannerman had come out of the net to try and play the puck, and apparently they felt North Stars touched the puck somewhere in there.
Well, I was just questioning the penalty itself by Marouk. I don't think Savard was anywhere near the puck.
No, he wasn't. He had dumped the puck back to his defense.
All right, this is a big power play as it's brought in by Larmer. He's watched by Sneps. Chicago on its fourth power play. Here's Secord. Doug Wilson. Now Savard. Secord and Sneps battle in front. It's broken up by Graham and cleared by Broughton.
Dirk Graham and Neil Broughton go off for a rest. Acton and Bellows come out.
That shift lasted only a half minute. Bob Murray driving it in. Bellows waiting for it. Can he get it past Secord? Yes, he got it all the way down. Bannerman leaves it for Bob Murray. 1:15 to go on Marouk's penalty. Big Ben Wilson to center. Flipping it in past Snepsts, goes hustling after the puck. Met there by Richter. Now it comes loose to Larmer, who centered it and hit Richter. He tried to clear, and it caroms back to center. Well, the breaks have been going the North Stars' way ever since Secord missed the open net late in the second period. Now Savard centers it. Graham takes it away and casually walks it to the line, then shoots it down. 40 seconds left on the Marouk penalty. 12 and a half minutes left in regulation. The North Stars lead 5-4. They trailed in this game twice and came back to tie it before taking the lead. Now Beaupre goes after it. The Hawks get to the puck first. Troy Murray to the blue line. Ben Wilson got it to Sutter, to Troy Murray. He centers it. A great save by Beaupre. He robbed Lysiak. Sensational. Now the Hawks again with Troy Murray. Bothered by McKechnie, who forced him to cough up the puck. Broughton racing ahead. Bearing down on Brown. And has no one to pass it to as the penalty to Marouk just expires. And the penalty killers come up with a big kill, largely because of a huge save by Beaupre on Lysiak. Here's Ciccarelli at center waiting for the zone to clear. Play is still going on as Broughton apparently thought maybe there was a whistle. He was slow in coming out of the zone. Now Troy Murray lost it. Ben Wilson has it. In front of the net, here's Brown. To Ludzik. Carries it to center.